Blessed love, I am the Honorable Priest Isaac. I am an official priest within the realms of Rastafari of the Ethiopia-Africa Black International Congress. I also hold a certification in the craft of ARCHAEOASTRONOMY from Politecnico di Milano in Italy. Our universe and its makeup has always been an intriguing subject for humankind. Astronomy is the study of everything in the universe beyond the Earth's atmosphere. Ancient astronomy is similar, but pays special attention to the physical and spiritual values of stars, planets, moons, and other celestial objects. It also brings in the terrestrial component, being things on an earthly plane, such as plants, human organs, and connects them to the heavenly bodies. In this course, you will learn the makeup of various planets and stars, how to locate them in the night sky, along with their associated constellations. You will also be taught about the earliest civilizations known for their astronomical comprehension, namely Kush, also known as ancient Ethiopia, Kemet, called Egypt today, the Dogons, and the Bozos, as well as the civilization of Sumer. You will also learn about black holes, their nature and origin, as well as how the ancients viewed them. Ancient astronomy is the mother of archaeoastronomy and astrotheology. Both subject areas are covered by the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge. Sign up today. Visit our website, priestisaacinstitute.com, or email us, priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com, for more information.
But some of them become very presumptuous. They think that they're smarter than Moses was. And then finally you have our beloved Prophet Muhammad and our Muslim brothers and sisters. And they thought that they're smarter than the other two that came before them. Meanwhile, they are totally discounting the great-grandmother, grandfather who rescued and taught all of their major prophets, and whose wise Solomon even married one of the daughters of the Nile. And don't think that Solomon could be wise without having imbibed from the wisdom of Ma'at, from the very woman that he married from this Ma'atian nation of Smite Parawi. He was married to a princess of the Nile. Okay, so I am saying these things because a lot of us have to study a little deeper and begin to put things together. And those who have an interest may one day ask us to relate your version, how you see things. And that's what you've invited me to do, my beloved brother, Priest Isaac, that I'm trying my best to convey. And I know it's a lot to take in one sitting, but you asked me, so here I am.
Yes, and you could almost call this just an overview of everything. But I'm not going to keep you, of course, too long. Of course, I'm going to respect your time. As you can see, I'm just going through some pictures here.
Yes.
It's not even distracting you in your presentation, but just to give a little light to what you're saying, even to the family. But before we even seal up tonight, and we're still talking about the unification, and we're talking of knowledge and going into the future, I know that you are familiar with Rastafari as a movement, as a culture, as a concept, because you know for sure Rastafari would have, I would say, carried a lot of the responsibility of consciousness coming into this modern time. And that's the truth. When it comes to just holding up the name of Ethiopia, even up to a day like today, keeping up the name of Marcus Garvey, because even where you are, Marcus Garvey is not even a big thing. People that would have been born out of Marcus Garvey, and I would speak even of organization. Even I don't want to bring down nobody, and I'm not bringing down anyone. But you know, you have organization even like the Nation of Islam, and they would clearly tell you Marcus Garvey is their father. For those who would have started that, would have been on the fringes of Marcus Garvey, all who are affiliated with it, all the heroes of it had some connection to Marcus Garvey, but yet still Marcus Garvey is not on any picture on any wall. So again, it's not to pull anyone out, but to show how Rastafari would have kept the name of Marcus Garvey, Haile Selassie. It is only in this modern day, you know, I start to hear conscious people start to mention Haile Selassie and his importance, the Battle of Adwa, Menelik II, and yet still Rastafari now as a culture, you know, the vegetarian eating, you know, we have been beaten and killed for the ganja, which is now the world's most sacred plant, to the person with the stethoscope and the white coat. Imagine that. And at the same time now, as Rastafari again, we have a theology that is also, I would consider, evolving. Because a lot of what you're talking about here, when I came into this, I mean, a lot of the elders didn't even want to hear that. Some are still that ignorant, I must say, but the evolution is on. That is why myself and yourself, we're sitting down here and having a conversation of our agency, Smite Tawi.
So, precisely.
Yes. So as Rastafari, or in any angle you want to take it, Rastafari as a conscious community in general, how is it that we start to merge this unity? Or are we doing it already? Because to me, we sometimes we don't give ourselves enough credit for what we are doing, you know. We want to do something, but we are actually doing it already. So, but from your perspective, how would you blend it all together?
Well, I was blessed to have, I should say, to have met my beloved brother from the country known as Yard in Jamaica. And he came, I went down to visit him in Jamaica, in Kingston, Jamaica. Mutabaruka. Oh, yes, indeed. A powerful poet, a powerful statesman of the Rasta community. I walked into his compound and I'm surrounded on all four sides by Ankhs and the eyes of Heru. I said to him, but Muta, how you get away with this, boy? How you are able to have all these Ankhs around your compound and all of these eyes of Horus, as they would call them, eyes of Heru? He said, well, I have been studying, and this is part of the reason why I invited you to come here. And to tell you the truth, there was here in New York City, there's a place called Flatbush where the Rastafarian community set up house, basically. And one of the first brothers, a Rasta brother from Trinidad, who was a dear friend of mine, his name is Brother Jacob. Brother Jacob came and sat down, and I told him about the Ankh. And he was the first Rasta to wear the Ankh in Flatbush area of Brooklyn. And he suffered because fellow Rastas looked down and said, you Egyptian, with a sneer. Well, later on, I went and I visited Jamaica, and I went up to the compound of our beloved brother, Mutabaruka, and I went on his cutting edge program. At the time, I was with my then wife, Queen Afua, and we spent 3.5 hours on the cutting edge, a program that he hosted. And we went there both Queen and I, we had our fathers were Garveyites. My father joined the Garvey movement in La República Dominicana, or what they call the Dominican Republic, in the city of Macorís. And he used to travel every Saturday for 5 years to visit my beloved mother, which he later married, Amancia Alberta de Guerrero. Her name Guerrero means warrior, so I was born from a warrior woman whose very name carried that principle. But my father was a Garveyite, so Queen and I went down there to do a pilgrimage around Marcus Garvey's house around St. Anne's Bay. And then after we came off the radio station with Mutabaruka, and I took my guitar with me and I played some Hesse music and for him, and it was a wonderful time we had together. And then a couple of years later, I get a call from Mutabaruka's representative here in New York City. Muta is at the airport coming to visit you. Well, Muta walked into my studio barefoot in the winter, and he said, I come to do 2 half-hour television programs with you so you can explain yourself. So he came up and we did those tapes, and you will find them on YouTube, okay, where I'm explaining about the meaning of the animals that they accuse us of worshiping in the Nile Valley. And he was one of the first of the Rasta community who was highly respected had the nerve to confront the learned ignorance of some of the elders at the time who were not ready to venture out of the Old Testament, even though the one who brought them the Old Testament was educated by the people that they were taught to despise, the so-called Egyptians, okay? And so as a result of that effort, many brothers and sisters who are in the Rasta community now has evolved to claim the Ankh. Because make no mistake about it, let's never forget the land of Cush was born out of the seed of Chem. Notice I said Chem, not Ham, because King James did not pronounce the name correctly, because in Hebrew it's Chum, like from the back of the throat, Chum, not Ham, it's Chum, okay? And Chum, according to your Old Testament, gave birth to who? To Cush, which is Ethiopia. Gave birth to Misraim. Misraim, when you break it down in the Metuneter, Mis means to be born. Ra, of the sun. Ain means to come forth. Oh, yeah. Even in Hebrew, you can hear the sounds of the Metuneter. Misraim means the one who's born of Ra, who comes from the sun. Oh, yes. So the very name Misraim, though it's Hebrew, is the name of the place now referred to as Egypt. Then you have Put, or I would prefer to say Ptah. That's other son of Ham. Some say that he inherited the land now called Libya. I would tend to disagree, because the Ptahites, the Put or Ptah, could be traced to the forests down in Monomotapa in the South African region, where you had the first smelters of iron, because there were craftspeople who made their weapons of iron. And that is the domain of Ptah. Metals of the earth, rocks and stones, is the domain of Ptah.
Blessed love, I am the Honorable Priest Isaac. I am an official priest within the realms of Rastafari of the Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress. I also hold a certification in the craft of ARCHAEOASTRONOMY from Politecnico di Milano in Italy. Our universe and its maker has always been an intriguing subject for humankind. Astronomy is the study of everything in the universe beyond the Earth's atmosphere. Ancient astronomy is similar, but pays special attention to the physical and spiritual values of stars, planets, moons, and other celestial objects. It also brings in the terrestrial component, being things on an earthly plane, such as plants, human organs, and connects them to the heavenly bodies. In this course, you will learn the makeup of various planets and stars, how to locate them in the night sky, along with their associated constellations. You will also be taught about the earliest civilizations known for their astronomical comprehension, namely Kush, also known as ancient Ethiopia, Kemet, called Egypt today, the Dogons, and the Bozos, as well as the civilization of Sumer. You will also learn about black holes, their nature and origin, as well as how the ancients viewed them. Ancient astronomy is the mother of archaeoastronomy and astrotheology. Both subject areas are covered by the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge. Sign up today. Visit our website, priestisaacinstitute.com, or email us, priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com, for more information.